Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining. I have a good person coming on tonight, a nice interview. You know, sometimes if you ever notice on your driver's license, they have this question and they ask you, would you mind being an organ donor transplant if something ever happens to you? And, a lot of people, they kind of shy away from it. They're afraid of it, but I have an amazing story for you tonight. And so thanks for joining me. I have Ashley Alexander that I'm going to bring up. She has a twin sister, and her twin sister literally kind of gave her the gift of life. Her twin sister donated part of her liver. It's a great story. I really think y'all going to enjoy. So hold on to your seats, sit back for a minute. I'm going to bring Ashley into the building. Hey, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm so glad that you were brave enough to come and just join us tonight on
Really?
Chronicles of the Gray Hair Diva. Yeah, you're welcome. I love interesting stories. I love just, hearing how, people just, they rose above it all. And you are fortunate that you was born with a best friend. You are a twin, but tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I'm Ashley, as you guys can see. I'm from New York, 28. I'm gonna be 29 in March. So any Pisces out there, big up. Um, yeah, I am just a regular 28-year-old girl. I live my life very free. I do CrossFit. That's like one of my passions. Um, that's basically it. I'm just like a very like chill, low key girl.
Nice, nice. And so you are a twin though.
Yeah.
So tell us what it's like being a twin and having a twin sister. And hi, Sharon. Thanks for joining.
So I being a twin is, it's a roller coaster. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. Because people like view twins as very like, oh, this is look how cute. Yeah, it's cute and all, but you still have like someone that you're in competition with your entire life. If you know,
Wow.
um, like growing up, like it was good growing up because especially like if you don't like hanging out with other kids, like you kind of just have someone to hang out with. You have a sense of security. And growing up was very fun because it's like I'm the one you would consider the mischievous twin, and my sister Amina is like the good one, but I always make her do bad things so we could both get in trouble and equally get the so it was fun in that sense. And then I think the hard part was like being a teenager. But growing up was fun. I knew I was a little bit different growing up, like around 5, 6, 7, because I also, on top of my liver condition, I have cerebral palsy. So
Okay.
I was always in and out the orthopedic doctors, getting braces for my legs, getting surgeries for my legs and my arms, and my arm, one arm. Um, like always in and out of the doctor doing that every weekend, missing school. And she would come sometimes, but then I didn't understand like why I was going to the doctor so much. All I knew that
Okay.
I was different from Amina. Like all the other kids didn't matter at like that age. Nothing matters to the other kids. Like I knew I was different from her, and that was my
Okay.
so so then we got older and like teenage stuff. Like you think you know everything, but you really don't. And
Mm-hmm.
we grew apart a lot at that age because it was a lot of like, I still like my CP was, I still didn't accept the fact that I had cerebral palsy. My liver condition was like on and off, and I was looking different from my sister because
Okay.
I was on prednisone for a very like since like 9, and I don't know if you guys know, but prednisone is like one of the cheaper medicines that help with inflammation, but it also has a lot of side effects. Like it gives you acne, um, it stunts your growth, makes you gives you insomnia, a bunch of like other like mental issues. It's just cheap, so doctors tend to use it a lot, and that's like the truth. Um, and it's also like a healthcare system thing. But I was on it for a while, but it does help with inflammations, and I was on that for like a long time, and I'm better now. I learned how to take care of my body. But growing up, around the time where I started using that, my, what do you call that? Where the teenager grow into an adult?
Puberty.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
So my puberty stage wasn't how it was supposed to be because it was affected by this medicine.
got you.
So it was a lot
Okay,
different from Amina's. And that's where I started to like resent her and get upset. And I didn't know why I was so upset. And it was rough around that age. And then I hit like 20, 22, and then my liver started getting really bad. Like everything just started getting really bad. Um, and then 24, I had the surgery.
okay. So talk to us a little bit. What actually did they say was wrong with your liver?
So I have autoimmune hepatitis, and
Okay,
that's basically a form of hepatitis, non-contagious. The only thing is that it attacks your body. So it basically picks an organ, in my case, my liver, and it tells it you don't belong here, and it fights
mm,
it out. And but the crazy thing was about it is that if you do the research, it's a genetic disease, and no one in my family has it, not even my twin.
wow.
So the doctors were like, kind of like, where did you get this from? And the only thing I could think of was from like, I was also very premature. I was born at 36 weeks. So probably from like a blood transfusion at that age, or who knows. But
Right.
no one in my family has it. So that's basically that with the autoimmune. And then so it attacked my liver until my liver failed, basically.
Okay. So at what age would they did they find out that your liver was failing you?
So it always failed on and off, but what would help is adjusting my medications. Um and then it came to a point where my liver was so damaged that it literally looked like a hard rock,
Mm,
very shriveled. So it literally wasn't working anymore. And that was around 2024, the end of 23 into 24. And they were like, I was always on and off of medications. I'm sorry, my computer.
no problem.
Yeah. I was always on and off of medications and like adjusting here and there. But it took around 23, that's when they were like, all right, Ash, like, we can't hold on to this anymore.
Wow. Okay. And when they had that conversation with you, what did it feel like and what did they tell you was your only option or what was your options?
So I was always on and off the transplant list. As my liver got worse,
Oh,
as it got better, they would take me off. Because I don't know if you guys know about transplant lists, but and it sucks because the sicker you are, your chances of getting a transplant is higher.
oh,
But it just sucks because like you literally have to be dying to get saved.
to get saved.
And it's just sad to think about and just sad to do. And this is why living donation is so important because you could save a family member and they don't have to
Yeah.
be on their deathbed.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point to bring up. I'm glad you brought it up, and I'm glad you're strong enough to have this conversation because I know it's not easy for you.
Yeah,
But I want everyone to know that if at all possible, like you said, living donations, if you can do it, is a great gift to give somebody because I see what you're saying. What you're saying is that to be on the list for an organ donation you literally have to be extremely sick to be
yeah,
pushed to the top of the list.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So wow.
And
So
that's
as you
not even
go ahead.
guaranteeing you having. That's not even guaranteeing you're getting a transplant. That's just like you're getting higher in the list. That's not even like, oh, this person is a match. You might get a donation and they don't match at all. Now you gotta keep waiting. So it's like it's all that like trial and error that goes.
Yeah. It's a roller coaster ride,
Mm-hmm.
right? Of going up and down. So when was it and how did the decision come about to say to your sister, or your sister came up in consideration to be the one to donate to you?
So that conversation was very funny. Um, at that time, Hamilton just came. No, was it Hamilton? Yeah, Hamilton. We were starting to listen to the Hamilton soundtrack. So every
Okay.
day it was crazy. Like we listened to it 24/7. My mom would be like, "Shut it off," but but it was like crazy when that came out. So I see you on the other side, one of the lines that we all said to each other. Um, but we when my doctor called me like, "Oh, when your family member with you to your doctor's meeting," and I was like, "All right, cool." So it was always my dad because he worked at night, so he could come with me in the daytime. And so he came with me, and I was like, "Well, I need to bring somebody," and they were like, "We're gonna give you a bunch of information, and you might not get to retain everything." So I brought my dad,
Mhm.
and my dad is a mess. He was just like, because he was watching me get sick, and it was bothering him. But if you know my dad, he's a funny guy, so he tried to act like he okay all the time when like he's not.
Mhm.
Um, so I took him to the doctor, and then they gave me a booklet with, and they were just like, we're gonna put you on a transplant list, and it kind of needs to happen sooner than later because your quality of
Mhm.
life is depreciating. And I'm very like good with hospital things. Like I'm like, all right, cool, like because in my head I don't really listen to doctors because I'm like, you don't have to like in my
Ashley, you know what? You kind of breaking up a little bit. You're kind of breaking up a little bit there.
okay.
All right, guys. I think we're having a moment here because Ashley's screen is freezing and kind of breaking up. But let's see if she comes back in and unfreezes. But in the meantime, I will talk. I will say this, that it is scary to think to yourself, are you coming back there, Ashley? Can you hear me? I know you're freezing for me. All right. I
Yeah,
don't.
yeah.
Okay.
Am I amazing? Are we good? Should I
You're,
come back
you're,
in?
I can hear you, but it's kind of blurry.
Yeah, I'm gonna come back in.
Okay, go out and come back in. Okay, no problem. So I just want to say to everybody that it is really a tough decision to say to yourself, I want to donate part of my a organ, or one of your body parts. But as she is stated, and as she stated, it's such an important thing because people that are on the transplant list, according to Ashley, and I'm going to bring her back up and see if we're good now. All right, there.
Yeah, we should be good.
Okay. All right. So continue on. You was at the part where you went to the hospital and they said, they need to put you on the list for your quality of life.
Right. So yeah, my dad came. They gave me a booklet with everything, and they were just like asking me questions. And they were like, and then they asked me the question like, "Do you have any siblings?" I was with my doctor for like you see him in the video, but I was with my doctor since I turned 21, and I'm pretty
Wow.
sure I told him I had a twin. He just probably forgot. But I was telling them like I have a twin. They were like, "You have a twin?" And it was literally like Grey's Anatomy in there. They were like, "Oh my god, oh my god." Okay, cool. So your twin is gonna donate. And I'm looking at them like, she didn't even say anything yet, but okay. and then like and then they gave me the information. My dad is like in the corner, like pacing back and forth. He's so nervous. And I'm like, all right, you need to get it together so I could be okay. So and then we left, and then I texted my sister and I was like, yo, I need some of your can I borrow some of your liver? And then that was literally the text message I sent her. And then she's like, all right, cool, I'm coming. I'll see you there. And I'm like, wait. I really need it, but I don't know how it works. And I was like, are you down? And then I was like, you have to do this. I was like, I'll wait. 'Cause if you know Amina doesn't do anything that involves blood, nothing that involves her being in the hospital. So it was like a big thing for her. So then I told her, she was all down from the moment I told her. and then she some people she had a different team than me. She had a living donation team, so they took her, and she had to go through like all these tests,
You're going
psychological.
asking this department, the thing is so important, but you kind of like it went in and out again, but now you seem like you're good. So say that piece to me again.
I made her a separate team. You can hear me?
It's still going, it's doing like an in and out thing.
I have no
Okay,
idea.
now I'm seeing like I'm hearing you. So try again.
Okay, can you hear me now? You
Yeah.
good?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes. So Amina had her own separate team. They contacted her, and she had to go through a lot of, like physical tests, psychological tests, and then they kept asking her, like, is she paying you to do this? She had like to write like sign off on things. It was crazy. I was like, why are you asking her this? And she's like, no, she's not paying me. But like apparently people pay for organs. Um,
I'm sure. I'm sure they do.
so then
Because listen, if you're desperate and the list is waiting until like you're on your last leg, I mean, yeah.
so then
Mm-hmm.
she was like, no, she's not paying me. And then she went through all her tests, and then like she was obviously a match, like real like. And the one of the craziest tests they did was testing our twin twin ability, like how identical we were. That was one.
Really?
And I thought we were like 99.9% identical. And I was like, I could have told you this, but okay.
You're like, I don't need this test for the information. I could have just told you. Nice, nice. I mean, it's beautiful that she just right away was like sure and yes. And especially if you're saying that she's not one for blood and doctors and hospitals.
Yeah, I was like, how are you gonna do this? She was like, I don't know. I have no choice. And I'm like, damn. I would totally do it for her in a heartbeat because I think in a sense what makes me and Amina different is I am I could physically I'm physically stronger. For her,
Okay.
she's more emotionally stronger.
Oh, nice. Okay. All right, beautiful. So take us to the point where, okay, they took you through all of this testing, and now it's the day. Now it's the time. But actually, before we get to that day, did y'all have any more conversation about the process yourselves outside of like with the doctors? Did y'all talk about it?
I think we didn't have much conversation. After that, I didn't really believe the doctors that I was getting so sick because I felt fine until I didn't
Okay.
feel fine. And then
Mm,
there was one time where I was in the house. I think I was somewhere on this bed, but I was like leaned over in so much pain. I was like bloated to like I'm 4'8". My normal size is like 85 pounds. I was
okay.
135 pounds of water,
Oh.
and I was so bloated that it hurt to do anything. And I was like bent over in pain. And then Amina looked at me one day and she started crying. And I was like, why are you crying? I should be crying. But she was, but what sucked for my sister is that like her boyfriend, a year before our transplant, passed away from liver cancer. So it was, she was basically watching that happen all over again.
Mm,
And it kind
mm,
of like
mm, mm.
took her up again.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. Wow. Just an amazing story. So now we're here at it's the day. It's the time. So you'll both go to the hospital together. Like, talk to us about that.
So it's the day. It was on, it was on Halloween of 2017, but it was supposed to be earlier. But I had bought tickets to see Bruno Mars, and I told my doctor I wasn't coming. And he's
So
like,
you held off your liver to see Bruno Mars. So then you love Bruno Mars.
and it
Okay.
was the greatest concert I ever been to in my whole life. But and so it's now December 31st, 5 o'clock in the morning. We have to be at the hospital, and I never woke up at 5 o'clock. I had to be nowhere at 5 o'clock in the morning my whole life until then. So we get up, my whole family is up, all my siblings is here, and I'm like, it's not that serious. Y'all need to go back to sleep. And they're like a trunk load of people, and they
Wow.
go to the doctor. So we get there, and me and Amina have to go through like transplant, like I call it transplant booking, where where they gotta get all your information, put bands on you, like do pre-vitals and stuff. So we get there, we're in the office, we're doing all of that, and then now it's time to for pre-surgery. So they take you into these rooms, and you're laying down on the beds. But we have two different teams. So it was funny because all of our doctors knew us. We met a family member that was a nurse, and I didn't
Wow.
know his family until my dad pointed. My dad is Guyanese, so like he knows everyone from their last names. So we met one of our family members there. It was weird, but
Wow.
I remember the doctors playing games like name games because our initials are alike, our birthdays are alike, our email was almost alike, our social security numbers are almost alike. So the biggest fear was them getting us confused.
Mm.
So all the anesthesiologist, the nurse, all the little doctors was just playing like name games. And it was so funny watching it. And then like that was happening, and then Mina's fooling around in the corner. And then like my parents are like tearing up on the side. And I'm like, it's a lot of emotion in this room. Yeah, so it was so funny because the doctors come in, they give you the IV like before you go in, and they give you a pre-cocktail. So they call it the pre-cocktail, but it's the
Mhm.
anesthesia before they put the real anesthesia.
And see, Janu, yes. Hmm.
So Amina got hers, and this is how like Amina don't go through anything. She like as soon as they put it in her, she fell asleep, and I was,
Wow.
how you gonna wake me up? And I'm like calm, like they gave me mine. I'm just calm and like chilling, and so then by the time they roll her out, she was already knocked out. And then one of the lines we said to ourselves, like, I see you on the other side, because it was from Hamilton. Um,
Okay.
so so they rolled her out, and then I remember, I don't think she remembered anything past that pre-cocktail. Um, but when I had mine, I remember them taking me into the room, and then I was late. I had to go from the rolling bed to the surgical table, and I just remember the surgical table being so cold.
Wow.
And that room being like an ice box. And I was like, I'm glad I don't have to be up for this.
So
So
y'all trying to make me freeze.
yeah. And then it was a bunch of like monitors like beeping, and I was like, all right, cool. Now it's time. Like my anxiety was kicking in. I was like, all right, cool, give me the strong stuff. And they did, and like it was I don't know what happened after, but like because my surgery took 12 hours and Amina's surgery took 8.
Okay.
Um, But I know like all the nurses when I woke up, and I was like, "How was it?" And I was more concerned about if my surgeon wore a diaper or not, because I really need to know if this man used the bathroom for 12 hours. It's like real questions I was concerned about. I was like, "Do you pee like at all?" He's like, "No, I go on a certain diet when I have surgeries," and I'm like, "Oh,
Oh,
this
wow, that's interesting. Okay, to make sure that he's gonna be good and,
yeah."
nothing goes on. Wow. So what was recovery like?
I underplayed recovery. I like thought it was gonna be I'm gonna be up because my previous surgeries that I had like in my life, I was like up and active the next day. And I was like, it's gonna be like that. It's gonna be fine. I'm gonna be healthy. Like I'm ready. Let's go. And I woke up. Amina was up before me, but I woke up and I remember waking up and trying to speak, and then nothing was coming out. And
Wow.
and then but nothing was coming out because I had a thing
The
that they
tube
put,
down your
yeah.
mhm.
And I never had that in my life. And I was like blurred. My brain was waking up slowly. So I knew something was there. So I was like, all right, I'm just calm down and go back to sleep. Um, so once I felt that, I like went back to sleep. And then I remember blurredly writing bad letters to my surgeon, like, take the shit out of me right now. I need to speak. And then he's like, no. And she's like, no. And I'm writing letters like, please, I'm not gonna be bad to y'all no more. But it was very much like I really didn't like that too. Because I wanted like my spirit wanted to wake up. My spirit was up. But
Okay.
my body was like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Wow. So how long were you in the hospital after the surgery?
Probably a month.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And that's like a short time compared to people with recovery.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
I was up, we were out of the ICU the next day because Amina was like, yo, you got to get up. You got to get out of here. Because, doctors, they want you to like walk around as soon as you get out of surgery.
Yes.
And some people are like, I'm not doing that. I'm in pain. And I looked at Amina. I was like, you got to get out of here.
You got to break out of here. You got to get up.
So we was walking like the next day because it was hard to sleep anyway because we were in so much pain. Because it really
Okay.
felt like you got hit by a truck. Like you were sore, like you had so much gas from your body being open. You couldn't eat real food. Like it was so uncomfortable. Like
Wow.
learn how to like walk and talk and breathe again. And like the little things like you take for granted, like sitting up straight. And we had to like relearn that. So it was a lot of like walking around the hospital late hours of the night. And we were getting a lot of trouble when they put us on the regular floor because we weren't supposed to be together because of our information was so much alike. They didn't want to give her my medication.
Oh.
But we broke all those rules. And we were together in the same room all the time and we would get yelled at all the time. And I'm just like, y'all might as well put us in the same room.
Because we're staying together.
Right.
That's really sweet. So did your sister have to stay in as long as you did?
No, she left earlier, and that was like hard for me. Like I remember her leaving, and I was like crying, and it was this one nurse, and she was just like, she like sat with me the whole time. Like ever
Oh.
since Amina left, she sat with me. She would come see me. She would do her rounds and then come and sit in my room. Like the whole time, she was like, "I know your sister left. Don't be sad. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna meet her soon." And I'm like,
Oh, that was sweet. Really nice, nurse. That was so nice of her. So, how have you been doing, since the surgery?
I'm great. Like I think what helped with the surgery is like my journey with CrossFit. Um,
Okay.
I had the surgery 3 or 4 years ago. It's been 3 or 4 years now. Um, I've been good health wise. My what I thought what was gonna happen was my autoimmune was gonna disappear. That's not
Mm,
true. It's still there.
okay.
So what happened after the surgery is like the autoimmune went away. It was like not detected, and then it came back.
Ah,
And then for a little bit, my liver was rejecting again.
mm.
And then everything that the doctors predicted was out the window and they had to sit with a new map and was like, what's going on? Because you're not supposed to reject. This is basically your liver. You got it back. And
Right.
so they're like all confused. And I'm just like, y'all not about to ruin my life. What I'm about to do right now is I feel fine. And until I don't feel fine, that's
And that's a great attitude to have. It really is. I think your mindset helps too when you're going through
yeah,
certain things
yeah.
like that. Yes.
Yes, I agree. Because doctors, and then my doctors are, they kind of remind me of my parents, where your parents worry a lot. And I'm just like, and I have a great coordinator, and she texts me at 2 o'clock in the morning. She's like, "We need blood work," and I'm like, "You need to wait." Because she will start panicking for like no reason, and nothing that drastic is happening. I have to calm her down, if anything. But she's a great lady. But it's like I always look at like my health conditions as they're gonna be there. But until I feel like I'm sick and dying, I'm not sick and dying.
God bless you. Amen.
And that's just the way I
Amen.
always handle it. You will never know I'm hurting unless you physically see me hurting and I'm like, okay, this hurts.
Okay. That's amazing. That's a great attitude and a great way to look at things. Yes, Mo. She said amazing. I do agree.
Thank
Yes. And
you.
wow, yep. Wow, what an amazing story. It is an amazing story. I mean, your strength, your courage, just your great attitude also on how you just, look at life and look at things. Sometimes people want to be woe is me, and you're like, listen, I'm good until I'm not good. And
Yeah,
then when I'm not good, we'll deal with it, right?
right. Yeah, that's
I
just the way it is.
Yes, I love it. So we kind of briefly kind of said a little something about it, but what would you like to tell everybody in terms of like, organ donation, how important it is, and why they should consider it?
Organ donation is so important, and I think as a Black community, we're so scared, which makes sense. We live in a very Western society, and still up to this day, in a day of freedom, apparently, we're still probably one of the most. We're scared. We're scared to
Yeah,
live. We're scared to just exist because we still get shit. Um,
yeah,
I think when it comes down to organ donation, it's important because, like I said earlier, with the transplant list, you have to be very sick to even be a potential. Like you have to be on your deathbed to be on the top of the list. And living donations, being a donor in general is so important because you could literally save someone's life and not have to see them like suffer on their deathbed. I mean,
yeah,
I was bad, but I can't imagine being worse than that. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And I
yeah,
like, and I'm so grateful for my sister every day. She's still annoying, and she will always get what she want at this point. Ask me for $20,000, please. Here you go. but um, but it's so important to learn about living donations, kidneys, liver, anything that you don't need two of. You don't need two kidneys. And if you
right.
save a family member, and I'm gonna say this because I see a lot of Black people in the Black community suffer from kidney disease,
Hmm.
and we could save each other. And it's also diet and health and taking care of your body
Yeah,
and your mental too. Your mental will literally like the power of the mind is insane.
yes,
And I think if people do a lot of mind, you could cure yourself from your brain.
yes. I,
It's
I wholeheartedly agree with you.
yeah.
Let me just read this real quick. It says, Ashley, you have an amazing attitude. You just made me feel so grateful to be able to hear your story. Thank you for sharing. Oh, thank you, Mo. Yes, beautiful. Let's just check out this one. Let's see. You're such a strong girl. May God bless you. I love your personality. Diva, great interview. Thank you. And Francine, God bless you and your sister. Yes, God bless you and your sister. Yes. Um, these are things like we gotta have more conversations like this. And you tapped into so many great things. You're wise beyond your years. I mean, like you said, you can heal yourself with your mind. Yes, you can. I do believe that. They said a man is what they think.
hmm
So if you think you're well, you'll be well. If you think you're not well, you won't be well. So I do love that. Let's see here. You're a great advocate for organ donation. What an angel you are, Ashley. Oh my God. Oh, thank you for that comment. It's so beautiful. Yes. You definitely are. You were placed here for a reason. I'm so glad that your sister said yes, right? Um,
I mean, she
just
couldn't say no. How dare you?
uh, but she said yes on her own. Like that's important too. She was just like, yeah, of course, I'm on my
Yeah.
way. I'm right there. Like, no thought about it and just supported you the entire way. It's great. How did you start to get into CrossFit?
So I started CrossFit because of my CP,
Okay.
with my cerebral palsy. I was always in and out the gym, but I always watched the CrossFit games, and I was like, I want to do that. And I called this CrossFit gym one time, and and the person didn't answer. And I was like, all right, cool. Like, I'll just, whatever, not paying it any attention. And then they called back. And then I had a whole conversation with the lady. And I was like, I have CP and I might need a personal trainer, but I really want to do CrossFit. Like, at least try
Oh,
one class. And she was like, you don't need nobody. And I was like, you never even met me before. I'm like, how you telling me this? And she was like, we have another girl here, and her name is Stephanie, and she has CP also, and she does CrossFit from her wheelchair. And I was like, no way. And I went there and I did my foundation classes with they have two adaptive trainers. So the adaptive trainers, you train with people with disability, but you're the only one who could train them because you have the certificate.
wow.
So
That,
I
that,
trained with them, and then they were like, "You good? Like, take a regular class. Like, you don't need anything." And I was like, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" And they're like, "Yeah, yeah, you're fine." So then I took a regular class, and it was fine. Like, I literally underplayed myself because I
wow.
was like, I can't do what other people do, and then I'm doing it. And it was like that blew my mind when I first started, and it was like the little things that like opened up my heart so much for this because
Hmm.
I couldn't jump rope. And that was one of like the things that bothered me. I'm like, everybody could jump rope. I would jump, people jump rope from their kids, but that's always been like one of my like challenges. Because,
Okay.
I would start and then get very insecure about it. And then my coaches would like teach me little tricks. So when the class was going on, I would just, because I started with two ropes that didn't go around. It was just like two, just individual. So it was just
Oh, got it.
I did
Yes.
that, and then I advanced to like a hop. So with the regular rope, so I would just hop and stop, and then it would be a skip. And then like now I'm like doing single unders like in the speed of lightning. And I was just like looking at myself like years ago, like wow, like a year
Look.
ago. I've been doing it for a year, and I'm like, that wasn't me last year. And
Oh.
it's just crazy because you get the motivation. And shout outs to CrossFit Middle Village. Like they will like I always say they will never understand. That community will never understand how much they changed my life.
Oh. Wait, say their name again because yes, shout out to them.
CrossFit
Um,
Village in Middle Village, Queens. Like you guys, I tell them all the time, and I literally get so speechless because they will never understand. It's like a feeling
yeah.
that like honestly just like thank you. Like before, because honestly, before CrossFit, I never accepted my CP. I was like, why do I have to have this? And then like I seen adaptive trainer like athletes like with one arm literally
The
climbing rope
rope.
and like lifting weights with like one arm, and I was like, I could do that. Like I I have two arms. They just both like, one of them just don't work. But like literally, if this guy could do it with one arm, I could find a way to do it.
Amazing.
And I don't know if
Amazing.
you guys watch the CrossFit Games, but there is an adaptive division, and those athletes are like amazing. It's just so like at any age, like they have, and this is what I love about CrossFit is the age variety. Like you could see somebody that's like 70 competing, and you could see somebody that's 16 competing, and you could see somebody with no legs competing, like literally. And it's just like so inspirational on all aspects.
I'm glad you love it. I actually do CrossFit. You're probably better than me.
But like we're all on different levels.
I know,
And
but
that's the
you're
beautiful thing
right.
about it.
Yeah, that's what's very cool about it. You're absolutely correct. But your gym, I see, I love stories like that because they was like, nope, just come on in. You're good. You got this. You can
Yeah,
do it on your own. And look how far you have come. Another just great story from you of just triumph and
yeah,
just like and I'm glad that that particular activity, you never know what thing you're going to do in life that will change you for the
mhm,
better.
right,
And look how that activity helped you accept who you are and
yeah.
your tradition. Wow.
Yeah, I post videos online on my Instagram now with like me working out. Before I was so insecure about like showing my arm my CP arm or my CP leg. Now I'm just like, bro, I'm lifting heavier than last week, and that's all that matters.
All that matters to you. Yes. Amazing. That is so great. What did I want to ask you? Now, would you like your in terms of your parents and like growing up, and I know you said you have your CP, and then you was in and out of the hospital a lot. Um, how did your mom treat you? Like, how did your dad treat you? Did they kind of baby you a little bit, or would did they just give you tough love and was like, nope, you're gonna go do your chores and do everything else like all your brothers and sisters?
I think my parents babied me a little bit. I didn't like it.
Okay.
My dad was like literally right by my side my whole life with hospital visits because he would be the one to take me because my mom works in the day and he worked overnight. So he would
Okay.
just take me. Um, so it was always just me and him like trooping it to doctor's appointments. Like he would treat me with like lunch or something. But um but I would like play into it. I'd be like, I would make him get me what I want. Like if I really want an expensive lunch, I was like, but I have to go to the doctor and like they have to give me a shot. You have to get me what I want. And he would just do it. But like I feel like my parents like even now are like a little bit overprotective. But
Yeah.
then as an adult and but that's also because like, with my CP also, they're always like a little bit worried and I'm just like, I do literally everything that a normal person do. I drive. I literally am looking for a place for myself. Like I have in my head, I have no limitations.
Which is nice, which is good. So Mo said, I will say this to remind me when I'm feeling like giving up. You're such an inspiration. Yes, you are, Ashley. They want to know, tell them your Instagram. What's your Instagram? I would love to follow you.
Instagram is Ash Cash Alex, ASHCASHALEX. So you could go ahead and follow me. I do have a podcast also that is slowly developing, called This Is Why We Smoke. It's me and my best friend from work. We literally work. I work in the cannabis industry, and we just made a podcast about like literally smoking and dealing with life in New York.
Favorite. And Ashley, what I'm gonna want you to do, because I will update the descriptions to put all of your social media, to put your podcast. We'll support you and your cohort, your buddy from work that started a podcast, and definitely wish you all the best with that and wish you well. Yeah. Also the canvas industry, huh?
Yeah.
So, let me see what else I have here. Oh, yes. So I know that with transplants usually, but you might be already having to take a lot of different medications. Did you have to start taking like extra ones as a result of the transplant?
No, actually, I was continue taking the same medicine I did before the transplant. I It's one medicine that every body that gets a donation has to take. It's called Prograf. Um, I didn't have to take that because I basically got my identical liver back.
Your identical liver back from your identical twin.
Yes, so I didn't have to take that until I started to reject it.
Okay.
And then they were like, let's try the program and see if it will stop rejecting. And it stopped rejecting. Um, but I was very upset when they like told me that.
Oh.
Because I was just like, not another one. But also like it was like it won't be that bad. I always try to look at it as like I feel fine. Like I know when my body wants to get sick. I've been dealing with this for like years. I know. Like one of the side effects that I pay attention to is the color of my urine
Okay.
because jaundice is very heavy in liver failure and
Hmm.
my eyes. So that's how I know like, all right, Ash, like you need to start drinking more water or like you need to start like intaking more fruits and vegetables.
Okay.
I'm always
Okay.
like trying to like paying attention to things like that.
Which is good.
To
So
catch
the more
it before it
you,
starts acting up.
yeah. The more you talk, the more I love you. Keep going. Oh,
Thank
thank
you.
you. And God bless you, Ashley.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. I mean, this was when I saw your story, I was extremely touched. I mean, I was touched for several reasons. I love seeing y'all together. I saw that little interaction. I love the fact of how you asked, for your liver from your sister. Can you borrow a piece of her liver?
Yeah.
And she's like, okay. Um, but I just really love your positive attitude. Wait, we got another little message here. I had twins also. So which twin are you?
So I'm the recipient twin. Amina would be here right now. She is a lighting designer. So she
Oh,
is now
nice.
doing the Michael Jackson musical on Broadway.
Oh, beautiful. I
So,
think Mo met, are you the oldest or the youngest?
oh, I'm the youngest. We're 2 minutes.
Okay.
She got me by
2 minutes?
2 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what she meant. Are you the oldest or the youngest? Yeah, so
Yeah.
you're okay, so you're 2 minutes apart. Yeah, she the mischievous one, Mo. I don't know if you was here when she said that.
Yep, that's
she
me.
she got the other one in trouble all the time. She got me in trouble all the time. Oh, so that's really nice. She's doing the Michael Jackson. So have you seen it?
No, not yet. So they're doing previews. So I don't know if you know, but previews is still where they could tweak it. They could
Yes, they. Yep.
things, yeah. So until
Uh-huh.
yeah. So she
Oh,
is busy. She's doing like 3 Broadway shows right now. And then she has to go to Louisiana. She has a show there that she's working on. So she's
okay.
I literally barely see her. I see her if I pick her up from the train or like if we pass each other in the morning.
She said, "Yeah, my youngest is too. I guess it's the younger
Yeah,
twins that be starting mess."
yeah, yeah.
So how did you get into the industry that you're in now?
So it was so basically in New York we do a gifting process. It's not like California, you could go to a dispensary. So
Okay.
literally in New York, you will buy something and then you will get gifted with cannabis.
Oh,
So I work in an art gallery, so you buy art and you get gifted cannabis.
really? That's interesting.
DC, Washington DC have the same laws, so you could do anything. You could do like here's a bacon, egg, and cheese, and here's some cannabis. But like it's the New York is behind with everything. It's very interesting working in this industry. I always worked in either theaters or like art galleries, and I just am glad that I combine both. And for me, I'm a cannabis user for medical issues, like having some of my side effects from my medicine is long term. Like I have insomnia. I need to
Okay.
like it's stuff like that that you're like you don't want to go to the doctor and tell them you can't sleep because you also don't want to be a zombie.
Right.
So
Right.
it's so and like I lose my appetite a lot and I need to eat, but I'm also very petite, so I do need to eat sometimes. So it's
Right.
like so much like it's either I go to the doctor and tell them something's wrong with me all the time, or just smoke a little and then fix this problem. Because like the medicine that doctors give you, like I take mine because I have to live, but like I don't want to go to them and tell them, "Hey, I can't sleep or I can't eat," and now I'm like they're giving me stuff that's gonna have more side effects. When
Yeah.
easy fix, like all I want to do is sleep tonight. That's it. I don't want to be a zombie. I don't want to like not be myself.
Right.
And it's like even if you don't want to smoke, there's like edibles. We have honey that you could put in tea at night. That'll just help you like relax and go to sleep. So it's like so much like benefits to, and that's how I always try to like promote cannabis. It's more of a health thing for me than recreational,
Hmm.
right?
Okay.
Especially now
Understand.
that it's legal, because a lot of parents is like, "Well, all my kids is gonna be smoking," and I'm just like, but if you teach them the benefits of it and how to use it the right way, then we could break that stereotype of this being this bad drug.
Yeah. Okay. And how is it being in the art gallery? I see your family, you kind of like you and your sister, you artsy, it seems like.
I
You
like
did-
it's funny because me and Amina are so different. Like we literally like yin and yang, and I think Mo would know this with her kids. But we have like a lot of the things we like is similar, but it's so different. Like I wear Jordans and I like like baggy clothes. Amina's like she's very free flowing. She's like, I wear a dress and that's very flowing. And I'm just like, where my sneakers at? So like we're like different in like that sense, and we have totally different personalities. I'm very much more like I have this like it is what it is. I'll figure it out type personality. Amina's kind of OCD about things. Like everything has to be perfect and lined up. And I'm like, well, we'll fix it when we get to it. And that's just like how I am. I think also because I never had anything set in stone for me. So I always had to be like, all right, well, this is happening now, so I got to deal with this problem. And I think that like fell over into the way I deal with life.
Yeah, you have a really, really good attitude. You have a great personality. You have an amazing perspective on life. I absolutely love it. Because sometimes you can really just drive yourself crazy if you just worry about every single little thing. Sometimes you got to live and let go.
Hmm. And don't get me wrong, like I was there before. I was like, I've been in every rock bottom you could think of.
Mm,
And what I realized is that like I gotta take myself out of it. Like no one is gonna do it for me. No
right.
one is gonna say what you want to hear when you're at rock bottom. They'll be like, it's gonna be okay. And in your head, you're like, no, it's not, because everything right now sucks. And you literally have to get tired of yourself.
Yeah.
And no one could ever say it's gonna be okay. Because guess what? That is a lie in your head when you're at that time. Like, and you literally have to just be like, I'm tired of I'm tired of crying. I'm tired of being on this floor right now. And this sucks. And it's either get up or and fix it, or like and I'm always here for like going on a roller coaster. I think that's just a Pisces in me. It's like just flow out the emotion, just let it flow, and then you get to the end. But I always like like for me, I always have to be there for myself, like all the time, because no one knows what I have a twin, yes, but like she doesn't know what it feels like to go through this.
Yeah.
She's been there, she watched, but she doesn't know like how I genuinely feel like when I'm sick, like when I'm in the hospital, like when when I'm trying to do like a like what bothers me sometimes is because of my CP, I can't braid my own hair.
Okay.
And I would ask her, and then, with curly hair, your hair is wet and almost all the time, and it's annoying. But so I would ask her to braid my hair, and like, sometimes she would get annoyed. And then like one time I caught myself crying, and I'm like, "Why are you crying?" But like, and then I had to explain to her like, it's not that it's not that I don't, it's not that I want to ask you. Like, if I ask you for something, it's because I
Because
physically
you need it.
can't do it. And
Yeah.
and then that made me cry because I was like, oh, like I physically can't do this right now.
Right. Right. Wow.
And then
But
sometimes like bringing that stuff into her perspective so she could be like, oh, okay, I get it now.
right, right. I think it's hard for some of us who don't have this situation, like we're not in it. You can't, like you said, you can't relate. You don't understand because every day we just get up and we just be.
Yeah,
Yeah, and if you couldn't just be, then maybe you could relate a little bit more. But
yeah,
yeah, and that's why you do need people to kind of tell you and say, listen, you're fortunate, you're lucky. I may need help with certain things that you don't need help with.
right.
And that's why I love to have these conversations to just, see other sides.
Yeah,
Also to educate people from someone who benefited from like organ donation. Sometimes things aren't real to us until they're real to us. Like,
mhm.
and to see you here looking amazing. I mean, of course, I never saw you before, but you look great. And to
Thank you.
know that, yes, you're welcome. And to know that, you are a recipient, of an organ donation. I think it's just something great for the people to see and
Yeah,
to hear from you.
I agree. I feel like with everything that's going on with COVID and like the unknown, we have to be very sure with ourselves and like really be very sure with ourselves, not just like getting by. It's like be your true authentic self because you don't know. Like you
Yeah,
really don't know. And don't let anybody tell you ever that like you can't do anything because there's always a way. Like there's literally always a way. Like you will find like that, like jump rope. I thought I would never jump rope in my life, and then look at me now. Like you find ways to like fix your problems, and it's like it might be through like 30 loopholes, but guess what? You get there. You get there, and it's like it seems impossible sometimes because like I never, I never thought that I would go through surgery. I'll be like, what? I'll be fine. Like, I'm young. I could do this. And then, like, it hit me. And I was like, okay, well, this is it. Like, no fear. Like, just trust it. And
Yeah,
almost like, I don't like to say ignore, but like, in a sense, don't let it, don't let your problems take over your life. They're going to be there. Like,
yeah,
and I tell my mom this all the time. She like stressed about bills. And I'm like, listen, this the bills are gonna be there. You're stressing about it isn't gonna make the bills get paid faster. Like it's
right.
just like stuff that I'm just like, it is what it is. We'll figure it out later.
Yep,
But
yep.
sometimes it's like I don't care mindset, but in a sense, sometimes you have to be like that.
You do. I agree with you. So, hi, Diva. Philly is in the house. Ashley, you are a blessing. Oh, thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
Momo. I swear I always heard having donor donations are on your license are targets for kidnapping and all bad things. So I always denied it. I will be changing it soon. Oh, we got one person. God
Thank
has
you.
control.
I'm
And
so
it says thank you, I guess. Thank you for your I think she probably is gonna write story.
mhm.
Um Yes, God is in control. And this is what this is about. Even if you change one person's mind, and I'm not even gonna lie, I was with Mo. I was just like,
No, and
but
as a black person, you think that deep. Like, oh my God, what if I get kidnapped? They're gonna take my organs. But
right.
like you don't know how many lives you could save with just putting that one don't like saying yes to organ donations on your driver's license. You could save like 7 lives.
Yeah.
And then I always look at it like, God forbid anything happen to me. I don't need them anyway. But
Right. That's true. We can't use them.
like you can't like you might as well here, like give this away. But but I always say that. It's like it's a good way of looking at it. But yeah, like it's and like it's so sad because like Mo, like in being black you have to think that's scary. And it's so sad to even like think like that.
Hmm. Yeah, she said, I never thought about the lies you could save. Absolutely. And sometimes it's not just save, like how you can change your life. I mean, I think when you organ donation, don't quote me, I don't want to, but I think they can even use your eyes.
Yeah,
Um, they can, right? They can use your eyes. There's so many parts of your body that they can use. And it will prevent to your family, like in the event that something does happen, it will prevent them having to ask your family and your family trying to make that decision.
right.
Because your family, yeah,
Mhm.
it's first of all, they dealing with grief already, and now they got to try to make the decision
Yeah.
to harbor your organs. Like, you help relieve stuff off your family if you made the decision, yourself.
And I don't
Yeah.
know if any of you guys are spiritual at all, but you do get a sense your spirit do live on with donation. Because honestly, I have some of my sister's qualities, and I'm like, wow, this is
That's not me.
this is weird. Like empathy, what is that? But you do get like some of their energy.
I believe that. I believe that. My biggest little fear about donations was that when if I was ever in a car accident, they not going to save because they want to take my organs because I said I was a donor. But I'm gonna be a grown up. I'm gonna be a big girl, and I'm gonna switch it. I recently lost my mom, and she wasn't an organ donor, and she had some organs that could have helped someone. Eye opener.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
kidney,
is an eye opener.
hearts, heart transplants are hard to get,
Yeah,
and but it's so important. Like it's that because that's one of the organs you literally can't live without.
you cannot.
You can't live without your liver. You can't live without your heart.
Yeah.
Like people need this.
Yeah, so you helping us out here, Ashley. You making us rethink, organ donation, which is so important. And as you stated too, it's so important in our community
Mhm.
because people just, we're afraid, and there's a lot of miseducation for us, but
Yeah,
there's a lot of hurt and pain with us in the community as a whole because there's so many different entities where we just don't get treated right.
yeah,
We don't want to go down that path, but when it comes to sometimes the law enforcement in our neighborhoods, we don't get treated right.
yeah,
Sometimes when we go to the hospitals just for regular things, we
yeah,
don't get treated right. So that leads into our distrust of like the system as a whole, and makes us not want to do certain things because we're so skeptical.
yeah,
But you coming here and us knowing that it matters and it will make a difference, and like you said, we may be able with our one self save seven people
yeah,
or give seven people a different gift. Yes. Yes, this topic is very interesting. It makes you look at life differently. Yes, it does, Michelle. It makes you, for me, what you're giving me, Ashley, and I think this is the other thing too. I think that no matter our age, we can all learn from each other, right? You could be my daughter, and I'm learning so
mhm,
much from you. So we have to be open to that also. That and just like you said at CrossFit, the same at my CrossFit too. The age gap spans is
yeah,
and. Yeah, I just met this the 23-year-old. I might bring her up on the show too. She's an up and coming artist. Just a beautiful soul.
mhm,
And I met her. I would have never ran into her, I don't think, in any other place, and we would have spoke the way we speak
right,
now. But because CrossFit is kind of universal.
mhm,
I think that's the word I want to use about CrossFit. It's kind of universal, so you just meet so many different people.
right,
But you have given us a gift, Ashley, on a Friday night. Your parents should be very proud of you. You are well spoken. I'm feeling you through the screen here. I'm feeling you virtually. Good vibes, and I just love the way that you came into yourself and you embrace who God put you on this earth to be. And I can understand, especially having a twin. You like why me? My twin running around doing XYZ,
mhm.
and I'm here dealing with all of this. Wait, here we go. We got Michelle said something. Ashley, my maiden name is Alexandra. So, it's always great. Wait, we got something else here. Let's see. Ashley, being a black woman, raising my children in this world, I am always open for opinions. Cause we can learn from all ages. You really tugged at my heart. Thank you. Stay blessed.
Yeah.
Oh, and she said, "Wait, you are amazing. Never forget it." Y'all gonna make me cry on this
I'm gonna tell you
tonight
this,
on
Mo.
Friday night.
I'm gonna tell you this, Mo, and I'm gonna tell everyone this. It's something CrossFit taught me. Everyone is inspiring everyone just by being themselves. Because I
Mm.
literally have people come up to me like, like literally, oh my God, I love watching you work out. And I'm like, I suck. But like, it's more like literally, I inspire other people inspire me. Like, everyone is inspiring each other just by being themselves. That's why I always say, be your true, authentic self at all times. Because you never know who's looking at you and be like, oh shit, this girl is like super fire. Like, and literally all you're doing is being normal, at least for yourself.
Yes, GVO, good vibes only. That's right, GVO. I love it. You girlfriend could write a book. I love it. I'm feeling so good. This
Thank
this
you.
is a good this is a good segue into my weekend. I just, I didn't know what to expect, but I really do. I like you so much.
Thank
Like,
you. Thank
you are truly, truly an inspiration,
you.
and especially because you had obstacles to climb. There are some people in this world that we got something else. There you go, girl. Um, yes, the words that are coming out her mouth, right? There's some people that they have zero obstacles to really climb. You had several, and you still have this amazing, amazing, amazing attitude and spirit. Yes. Oh, here we go. Oh, wait, let me see here. Let me make sure I put that. Absolutely good way to start the weekend. Yes, you giving us GBO, good vibes only.
Mm.
You most certainly are. So, Ashley, I want to say thank you to you. This was a amazing interview. You opened up to us, but you educated us also about donations. You educated us about just being good people. Okay. And like you said, we're all inspiring each other. I never thought of it that way, but you are correct. So as we close out, I could literally talk to you forever and, and I will definitely have you back. But as we close out, what would you really like to leave us with? What do you want to say? Oh, yes, here we got another one before you leave. Inspirational. Thank you,
Thank
Crazy K.
you.
Very inspirational. So how would you like to close out? What would you like to say?
I just always just leave it, just be very authentic. Like, don't let anybody tell you that you're to this or to that. Like, embrace that shit. Like, because it's not going nowhere. It's really not. Like, growing up, I always had people tell me I'm too emotional. I need to control my emotions. And then I sat back and I thought of it one day. Why I gotta control my emotions? Because I care. Like, there needs to be more people that care. There's too many people that
Yes,
don't care. That's why there's a problem. That's why I look
yes,
at it as crazy. But guess what? I'm not gonna stop not caring because I'm still gonna care. It's just part of who I am. So why
right.
not just embrace the fact that I care? And just I always say when people ask me like what's the most attractive thing about yourself, I always say my heart. Not even
Oh,
anything physical. Like I just love that I have like a good heart. And like that to me is like I thank God for that. Cause I'm like, no matter how bad somebody could do next to me, I'm like, I'll leave it alone. I believe in karma. I don't wish you anything bad on you, but I'm not putting my energy into like making your life a living hell right now because I just don't do that. Like my heart is just I don't want anything bad to happen to anybody. I'm very pure. So my message is to just be your true authentic self at all times.
girlfriend, your parents did well. Your
I don't know
parents
that
did
though, but
extremely wow, that's a beautiful. Just be yourself. I agree. That is the most heartfelt message you can give. Be your authentic self. Yeah, Mo said I love it. And I love it too. Like just be you because
it's
that's the
not
best
going
thing you
nowhere.
could
Like
do.
it's not. Like we're
Yes,
gonna just try to sit here and just fight the stuff that we are. Like
yes. Caring is sharing, and you have shared a great message. Good to see a young lady of this magnitude. Oh,
thank
I agree.
you. That means a lot. Thank you.
Oh, yes. I mean, I want to thank everybody for joining me in the chat tonight. I really do appreciate you coming by. This is a amazing young lady, a great story. Thank you for ending your message. Yeah, was such a great thing. Yeah. Thank you for recharging my battery. Oh, thank you. Oh,
I got
yes.
you, girl.
um, we need to have more conversations like this as a community, as sisters, just supporting each other. And you probably helped me out too, once again, to say, the best thing about you is your heart and like not to be vengeful or take revenge on somebody because you're not sending your energy that way. Girl, friend,
It's
you
just
are the best.
yeah.
You are
Thank
the
you.
best.
Thank you
You
so much.
really, really are. I am praying that you and your friend that are doing your podcast that it just does extremely well. I'm wishing nothing but the best for you. All good at CrossFit, and I hope that one day we see
You.
you at the CrossFit Games.
Yep.
I'm gonna be like, I see her, I know her, I met her. Wait, here we go. We have Sharon said, "Thank you for your testimony."
You're welcome.
Yes, yes, and I love the fact that you love the arts and all of that. It depends on how life is going. I usually always go to You're welcome. I needed to hear this tonight. Oh, I'm so glad you guys enjoyed.
Yeah,
I'm
thank you.
excited. I love Broadway, and I am trying to see on a Michael Jackson show. So
Mm-hmm.
if I do get there, I'm
Yo,
gonna
let
think
me know.
about you
Hit me up
and your sister.
offline. Hit me up offline whenever like she start with her ticket stuff.
Okay, I definitely will. Listen, girlfriend, you are the best. And I know everybody in this chat, they're going to be praying for you. We're going to follow you. You have to, you can either, send it to me through Facebook. But I need all of your Instagram. I'm going to have everybody, go follow you. I'll update the description and put it there. And send me the name of your podcast and how we can go support your podcast. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for this opportunity.
Oh,
This
you're
was a
welcome.
lot.
And listen,
Yeah.
have a blessed weekend. Stay safe. And we'll see you next time. Okay.
You guys,
All
bye.
right. Bye. Well, everyone, I really do hope that you enjoyed it. She is an amazing young lady, and she's young and she's been through a lot. From birth, she was dealing with her illness, but she persevered. Like she stood there, and she has just an amazing attitude. And can you imagine someone that has been through all of that? Who had to, was pretty much almost on like her, near her deathbed, and her sister donated part of her liver so that she can, stay alive and just live a healthier life. And after all she's been through, she still has the best attitude ever. I mean, if that doesn't change your mind about life, I don't think anything will. Thank you, Sharon, so much. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you supported me and you came and you watched, and all of you that supported me in the chat. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I will see all of you on the next video. Don't forget to hit the like button. And I hope you have an amazing, great weekend. Thank you, and I'll see you soon.